Happy Sunday. It is the day that the streamy thing happens and the day that the sun day happens. There is sun out there, so it kind of counts. Today I have hiding under the piece of paper, which is probably really loud considering the mic's right on top of it. The Medallion Club medallion for this March April box. I'm going to go in here and fix my chat. There we go. I will have a sticker to show off from the club boxes and some stuff to tell you about. My hyperfixation, I've decided to tell you more about the Dahlia thing, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. I got a box from Briar that I will get to show you stuff from, and Briar did a thing with a classic love mold that made me squeal so loud that I almost probably broke someone's ears. But yeah, that's a thing. Andrea, good morning, Andrea. It is a rainy Sunday where you are. Ellen, hello. Can't say good morning because it's not morning where you are, but I can say hi. Yeah, so should be fun. I have 5 bajillion plants down in my studio, but it did not stop club packing from happening. So I had lots of help with the club stuff this time. Not that I haven't the last few times, which is always helpful. But we ended up getting everything packed in a couple of hours. All the medallions are done, boxed. Most have tracking and labels ready to go for dropping them off for the end of the month. They'll fly out to their homes fairly soon here. Anybody who does not have tracking at this point, it will be coming before we send them out. There's obviously a difference with the international ones and Canadian ones. The tracking goes out a little bit different. So they are all ready. I've got bags and bags and bags ready to go. And it was the 27th yesterday when we finished. So done early. I don't even know what to do with myself for the next 3 days because the first is not until Wednesday. So there's 3 extra days. It's crazy. It's so cool to be ahead. I don't even understand what this concept is. So yeah, that'll be really cool. I'm really excited. I will show you those peaks a little bit later. I'll do a full reveal of the sticker, I think. I have the website sneak peek page ready to go with the exception of I don't have the peaks and the sticker reveal up yet. We had to do a breakfast thing, so I wasn't able to post them yet. But I will do that later. And I just had a panic moment because I uncovered the secret medallion thing, but you guys can't see it because it's on my desk, so it doesn't matter if I uncovered it. Yeah. We have Amy. Good morning, Amy. Trucker's Way 50. Hello. Good afternoon. So we are a little later where you are. I'm shooting this from Alberta, Airdrie, Alberta, Canada. So we are in mountain time and it's only 10:41 here. Denise, good morning, Denise. Good morning, Brenda. Julie, hello. Julia, good morning, afternoon for everybody. We have Marty, good morning. Sally, good morning. Amy says, ahead of things, a concept. I've never experienced it. It's not something that happens too often, but I'm not usually ahead with the sculpting. Not that I was ahead, but I was ahead enough that we got ahead. And we had help during the week time, which doesn't normally happen with molding and casting and cleaning. So that was also super cool. Chris has been really busy, so it's been hard to get molding and casting kind of going because we have to save that for weekends and things. So yeah, super excited. It's so cool to be I don't know what to do with myself. It's hard because my brain does the ADHD need to rush thing. So if I have a deadline, it's easier for me to cram to meet the deadline than it is to be ahead of the game. But the head of the game feels pretty good. So I'm going to keep trying to do this. I do have a anniversary medallion that I will be showing you guys hopefully for the next stream, maybe sooner, because we will open up the Medallion Club starting on the 1st, which is Wednesday, for new entries, and the new entries will qualify for the new anniversary medallion, which will be for anybody that joined. I'm going to mess this up. Not last. What's the month? I can't remember the months. What are the months? There we go. June would be the last time people were able to sign up for the last medallion I believe, for the last anniversary one. So that'd be Grace. That is this one. So we're almost done shipping out all of these anniversary medallions. So the next one that's coming out will be available to anybody who signed up after, I believe it was July. So it would have been, or June. We're doing May, June. It's so confusing when it's 2 months for the club. But I will get it all sorted out because I believe September is when we ship the new ones. So we do one here, one there, one there. So August would be how it works out. So yeah, what I'm trying to explain, because my brain has not had enough time to process in coffee. Is that the new anniversary medallion that I'm going to show you isn't for anybody who signs up in the next year. There's going to be like, we're probably only going to have one period to sign up for it. So if you really want this new anniversary medallion, dude, then there's only going to be like a 1 month window to sign up, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think it works out to be, because it's the 18th. But anyways, I will sort it out for you. I think we'll still have, because we should have May and July for signups from the 1st to the 18th of both of those months. And then we will be good. But yeah, anybody before that, up into, I believe it was July, June was the last time for the Grace medallion. So I will sort it out and post it because my brain kind of ad-libbed it. I wasn't intending on saying specific dates, but yeah, we're not good with the numbers and the days today. Everybody's like, what's going on? We have Pam. Hi, good morning, Pam. Can't get chat to come up with the video. Oh, well, that's weird. On Facebook? Should work. I will pull it up on my phone and I will double check. Chat's like the best part. I'm just going to check it here to make sure it's working. I can see it on Facebook. It pops up in the bottom there. All the chatty things. And hopefully this orientation works. I know for YouTube it's not necessarily the most ideal, but I know a lot of you are on Facebook, so that works too. Who else do we got hanging out this morning? 12:42 in Ohio for Trucker's Wife 50, West Virginia, then Pennsylvania. In Ohio, almost West Virginia, then Pennsylvania. Julia says this month should be able to afford it. Cool. Yeah, it's always open to new members. So the medallion that I'm going to show off today and the sticker are for people who paid for March and April. But you can, as a new member, buy the new the box that just is going out now and add it and get a box right away rather than waiting 2 months for your payments to accrue, because it's $25 a month. A little bit more for international for shipping, a little bit more for Canada for GST, because yay, taxes. And then it accrues to the 2 months of payments for a full box, because a medallion is obviously a little bit more than $25. And mine are giant, and equivalent ones are selling for like $160 now. So we're not there yet. I don't know that I will get there, but at some point I might have to raise the cost for the club, but it's not happening just yet. So yeah, that's the thing. We have Candace. Hey, Candace. I do have a Domingo back there. That's what I got from Briar that I'm going to show you guys. We have Danny. Hi, Danny. Gotta go to work. And then you can watch the stream there. That'll work. You can always come back. It's just the chat part's kind of fun, but doesn't always work out for everybody. I know Sundays isn't the best of the days. We have Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. Laura Rocksmith. Hello. Figure it's my phone. Took a few shots to load. Oh, well, that's strange. So a couple of you are having issues. We have Dale Ann. Hello. Gail, good morning. Annie's here. Good morning, Annie. I haven't talked to you in a while. Yeah, just saying hi to all the peoples. Cool. So I'll have some peeks and stuff. We have Holly. Good morning, Holly. I'll have Dahlia stuff to show off to you. Our Hasselback tater draw, I still haven't set a date for it. I might start it soon here and then do the first time payment drawing for him. That's the one with the pulled mane and the bang tail, the version of tater. So the duty behind me, but with different hair. And then the other guy's still in a mold, still trying to get that poured out, and then we'll have castings hopefully soon. But Hasselback will be first with the pulled mane and bang tail. And the first batch, almost the first 20 already. So super close to doing a batch of him, but we're going to do a time payment draw first. Because then it gives people time to pay them off and not have to wait forever to get them. So works out. Biters are still being worked on and going out. What else do we got? There's a couple of Scuttle time payments. I'm wrapping up some of that. So if you had a Scuttle on time payments, I have sent emails out to everybody that was left, because we need to wrap up the molds at some point. And hopefully a few people replied. So if you're in here and you're like, oh yeah, I had a Scuttle and what the heck? I've sent emails to all the people that were outstanding, and we should be able to ship those fairly quickly. Usually it's within 2 to 3 weeks, depending on Jen and Tom's schedule. They go straight out from their studio in Boise. Or not Boise. Oh, Kamihai, Idaho. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, hair, mane, and tail would be a peeled potato. I did have somebody asking about if I would do a hair prep version, and I don't believe that I will be. It's a big commitment to do a mold for. I don't think that there's going to be. I've only had 2 people ask, so without there being a massive want for it, it's kind of hard to do. But if you wanted to do that, the easiest version to do it on would be the one that's coming up now. So Hasselback with the pulled mane and bang tail, because the tail comes off obviously really easy. You could Dremel it down into a little stick to put all your hair on, and then the mane's easy to remove and just refill in where the crest is. So yeah. Candace says, if I wanted to come back, would it just be push of a button? Yeah. So anytime if you've left the club and you want to come back in the club, I open it up on the, you're going to make me do months again, the even months. So any month that is divisible by 2 or 3, sorry, odd months. So it'll be between May. So yeah, not divisible by 2. Because we ship on the end of the, yeah, so confusing with 2 months. I'm so sorry. Think about what it does to my poor brain cells. So yeah, I've got, so May, because it's the 5th month, it's not divisible by 2. The club is open between the 1st and the 16th usually. For Briarfest, I usually extend it to the 18th because that's usually how it works out with their Briarfest dates. So yeah, it's open in that window. You can hop back in at any point during that. The reason why it's limited to a certain time period and the beginning of the month is so that you don't have a half payment set up and then we're into the next box and it messes with everything. I used to have it open all the time and it was really hard to figure out who got what box and keep track of all of the stuff. And it's front loaded to the beginning of the month, so I make sure everybody's paid before I have the things ordered the month before. And then everybody's paid. I can confirm things before everything gets cast, boxed up, and shipped off. So yeah, there's like 5 bajillion moving parts, and my brain has to juggle all of them at the same time. And that might be why I get scattered and distracted by all the squirrels, because my brain cells are chasing all the different things. So yeah, it's crazy. We have people saying, don't say the B word. Yes, she's, we have biter trauma, but she is going reasonably well. They just take for freaking ever, and she's a dink. So that's just how it is. This is why we don't make things that turn in all of the different directions, with hair going all the other directions, and like every possible challenging thing I could have put into that thing, she's got it. But that makes her a super epic piece, and she's even more epic in person because there's so much 3D-ness, whereas most people are smarter, and when they sculpt, they're not doing things in all the directions to make it easier for casting. So they're cool sculptures, but they're a little bit more 2D and a little bit less like all the ways. But it's all the ways that makes her really cool. So anyway, I guess I'll show you guys the San Domingo because Cindy was awesome and did an awesome trade with me, which worked both ways. So we're both very happy, I think. And Domingo came to me direct from Briar in the coolest box. To see him in a vintage style box, just it hits different than having a normal Briar box. Like my brain goes, it's Marguerite Henry's work, which is also cool, and her character being San Domingo from the book. And just having him in an old style box, just there's like special feels. I don't even know how to explain it. There's so many. It's like I'm ingrained in Briar history before I actually was. Like it's like going in a time machine. It's kind of what it feels like. That's the best way to explain it. So he comes in a really cool box that is I'm definitely keeping this. And unfortunately is backwards for you guys. But they're done in the old school style. It even came in an old school different style of box from, we're getting close to their 80th anniversary or 60th. Is it 60th? I have no idea. That looks like an anniversary thing, but maybe it's not. Briar Animal Creations. Maybe that was their old logo because I'm a ding dong, but that's all right. Very, very cool. So I got to keep all of that because that's just how that works. And then they send the Vintage Club with a cool pamphlet that goes over the history of kind of the medicine hat pattern. It says backed by collector demand, fall or warehouse finds are nothing new. It talks about the different molds that they came with. That made me cry a little bit. So it talks about the Mustang family, and that's our old school love mold Mustangs, which I adore. And to have them even put me in the same category as Maureen Love and her work and those epic Mustangs is just the coolest thing. So yeah, it talks about fire. It says Fireheart's rugged good looks and windblown mane and tail are reminiscent of another set of Briar Mustangs from the 1970s, the number 3065 Mustang family gift set. When we first made his acquaintance in the Briar Premier Club of 2021, Fireheart came in a dramatic sooty Palomino blanket Appaloosa. The Mustang family, on the other hand, arrived in a more modest shade of chestnut in 1976. So, like, him being reminiscent of them and, like, the wind-blown mane. Yeah, internal squeeing, but that's the thing. So it talks about patterns. It talks about other different molds, the standing black Angus mold, the Galsenio mold, references the Meztenos in the back and how rare the one was. So reflections, that one. And then a certificate of authenticity at the back, which is cool. And it's number, I didn't know it was numbered. You get live reactions here. I didn't know it was numbered. Look. We're 514 of 1,000. So right in the middle of the edition. That's so cool. So yeah, there's that. That's super freaking cool. And then this is the boy himself. And I might have to get the semi-rearing version because I really like the semi-rearing Mustang and they go together so well. Look at his face. They did a really good job on his eye. He's got a little bit of overspray and some stuff, but that's okay. He's very much loved. It makes his eye look so sweet. I'm very excited. He looks so cool in this color. Yeah, so I'm not the only one that didn't know they're numbered. There you go. It's just, and the shading that they did on the tips of the hair just makes him so cool. Yeah. But he's got pinking underneath. It says in shiny. What does it say in shiny? Vintage Collector Club 2024. So yeah, I'm very happy with him. He's very cool. And it did come with the book, which I will have to read because I have not read this one. I used to love, like, Black Gold was one of my favorite Marguerite Henry books. I've never read the Brighty one, which I also have to read. But super, super cool. I'm excited. So that's a thing that happened, and I squeed quite loudly and squeed again when I figured out that they're numbered, and just all of it. All of it's so cool. I don't even have words to explain the experience of creating something for Briar and then having them run with it like this. So Justify was different because they did him once. We're probably never going to see that sculpture ever again in any form, although that would be kind of cool too. Maybe they'd bring him as a classic. That'd be neat. We should ask for that. Be like, here, make that, or make another one for you, whatever. But yeah, he was like one and done, and that's a different experience than him coming out again and again and again, which is just, yeah, makes me happy. Recently got that original Mustang gift set with the old box. I know, I love them so much. I like, pun intended, I love the loves. I have boxes of bodies, and I have the love mold Hagen Renekers, some of them, and I've got just random Briar love molds because they're so cool. Tons of Kathleen Moody stuff. They'd showed a picture of it was Emma, so Kathleen Moody's sculpture, and I think it was they were saying it's epoxy. Pretty sure it's super sculpey. And like the normal original flesh colored stuff, not the firm stuff that's a little easier to work with. So Kathleen must sculpt in that, I believe, because that was the kit that they had with Briar, where you could get the little sculpting kit and it had the wire armature and the clay to put on it. That was super sculpey, just the normal stuff. So I think that's what she was sculpting in. But anyways, they posted that and I squeed all over it because it's Kathleen Moody. Who doesn't like, even if you don't think that her anatomy is accurate enough, or you don't like the whimsical style, there's something about her work and the hair and the personality and the soul that you just immediately know it's Kathleen Moody's work, and it has so much of that equine spirit buried in it without needing to conform to like the more suffocating box of realism, if that makes sense. So I think that there's a fine line of balance between the two where you can really let the artist express themselves and not have to be photorealistic. We might as well just scan real horses sometimes. It feels like. I think that there's a little bit more to model horses than that, and more to equine art than that. So it's nice. But we all have our own different opinions and have preferences on that scale of whimsy to super real. So it's totally a thing. But yeah, Moody's core. Love is core. Yeah. So I think he's going to be hard to get a hold of because at an edition of 1,000, like that's still a lot, but it's not a lot. And there's a lot of Fireheart collectors and a lot of Fireheart comp guys. So it'll be good, I think, to have found him now. He will be treasured. He can hang out there. So yeah, I'm excited. Very, very excited. And then Blue Zeus coming in July will be also really awesome. And then Briar did this, speaking of love molds. We have Zane, I believe would be how you would pronounce it. Love mold on the classic Arab stallion. And I love this mold. The classic Arab family is adorable, but the stallion has a special spunk with the pose and the kind of more traditional, not wiry Arab. It's like more of a like the chunky Arabs that you just want to like cuddle and pet, and they got the little pony feel to them, and I love it. Anyway, they did this to us, which is a gambler's choice on the classic, a classic gambler's choice. So they do this every year for the club, where they offer usually an older mold, but they're classic, so there's not a lot of molds to pick from. They need to add more. And they chose this guy, and they decided to do him in glossy bay, and it's a really well shaded glossy bay that looks ridiculous. Then a chestnut Rabicano, which is also really well shaded and gorgeous. How are you supposed to pick? And then this reminds me of one of my first Briars was a let's see if I can pull it up here. Was Seth, who was a PetSmart. Come here. Stop. It's trying to like notify me of things. This one. Sweet. So Seth was a sham, because we love sham. And he was done in a little bit more of a mulberry style flea bit gray, but I had so many flea bit gray lesson horses when I was younger that I'm pretty partial to flea bit gray, and Briar does a really good flea bit gray. I really like how they do them. So for them to use the classic Arab stallion and do him in gray with a bloody shoulder is also very cool. And he looks adorable. I just can't get over it. I'm going to need all three probably at some point. So I did order one with my club membership and it's already shipped. So I should have it for the next stream. Hopefully. Fingers and toes crossed. And then I can show you guys what I get. And I'm going to try maybe not to open it, or I'll video it. And then I can show you the video, maybe. I don't think I'm going to be able to wait until the stream to open it, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, very excited about these. They make me happy inside. And I think a few of you might have gotten excited about that mold choice and the color choices. Sally says, I have 2 Zanes coming. Dale Ann says, love when I saw Zane appear. Mine should be here on Thursday. Hoping for Bay. Hey, Karen. Morning. Andrew says, super cute. Wish they just made one of the colors a decorator. That also would have been really cool. Yeah, we can't get away from the classic Arab stallion. I think they did a proud Arab stallion like it. Yeah, that makes sense. Amy's like, love Sham, I conga him. So much movement to him. Yeah, Rich Rudish did the sculpture, I believe, and he's just an awesome artist. I'd at some point like to get a hold of a sketch or something. They had a set of playing cards that I was looking at a while ago. That was really cool looking that he'd done in a was like a little decorated box as well. I was following that on eBay for a while. And his work just has a really neat feel to it. I'll see if I can pull it up. Oops. Particularly known for Arabs. Make it smaller. Smaller. There we go. So yeah, particularly known for Arabs. Stuff like this is kind of iconic of his work. Just gorgeous, gorgeous Arabs. So yeah, I'd love to own one of his pieces. Like, look at that. It's very Art Nouveau, which I love, with the added flair of just awesome, because that's how that works. There was that one. So pretty. Just so pretty. There's saddlebreds and Tennessee Walkers and other things that he's done over the years. He illustrated books. He did all sorts of cool stuff. So if you haven't gone down that rabbit hole, I would highly, highly recommend it. And then he sculpted 2 things for Briar, I believe, Lady Roxana and Sham, if I'm not mistaken. But you guys probably know more. So if I am, just let me know. But I do love him. I have Pharaoh still. Seth ended up being rehomed at some point. I can't remember. I think I was moving and I had to thin down the briars, as you do, right? But I do have a Pharaoh, which is the Egyptian style sham. Oh, pulls up American Pharaoh first. Nope. This guy. We are showing off. Oh. Okay, I'll have to show you on just Google. So this guy, because just epic. And I have the Caves of Lascaux, Decorator, I have the Greek one on the Akelteki Altanai mold that I can't remember the name of right now, because I also have a Greek. I can show you guys, maybe not. Pardon me as I wheel the camera around. Up on top here, there's a big Greek painting. It's actually a textile, so on fabric, a piece of fabric that has artwork on it. It's printed on there, and he obviously goes with that because he's a Greek feely thing, and I can't remember what the artist's name was that did it. Tibor, my brain's saying Tibor or something. Timor? I don't know, something like that. I should know better than that. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of these kind of historical time period style Briar deco things that I love. So that's totally a thing that I do now, apparently. Random conga, as they do that. Yeah, but I do love his art style, and I would definitely love one of his pieces hanging around. Brenda said no Zane for me, but I did receive my Lise and Medave from Canyon Studios. Oh yeah, I saw those come out. Sounds like Canyon Studios will be at the Artisans Gallery. Whole bunch of the artists that are popping up in the Artisans Gallery have been posting that they are, so check out pages, see who's going to be there. I'm sure Briar will post a map and have all the people on there. Laura Rock Smith got into the Artisans Gallery. Congratulations. I've been trying to half follow it while we've been doing prepping and biters and all the rest of things that are going on in the studio. And it's super exciting. So it'll be nice to see everybody. I'll definitely do a tour around and say hi when I go down, and it's going to be a blast. I'm super excited. And I might have plans for things, but not Artisans Gallery plans. I will not personally be participating in the Artisans Gallery this year. It is, as I've mentioned before on the stream, very challenging as a international person to come and try and sell stuff in another country because you need a work visa. So yeah, that's the thing. So congratulations. Yes, Karen says, and I will also repeat, congratulations to all of the people that got into their Artisans Gallery. And it'll be super fun to see all your stuff. I think they expanded it quite a bit, so it should be cool. Yeah, so that was the Briar related news. Andrea's like studio tour. Maybe when it's not covered in plants and messy and I have time to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, the studio is nuts. There's like, it's visually overwhelming because there is stuff everywhere. There's buckets of medallions, there's buckets of taters, there's buckets of second things that I might have to do a sale for at some point. I still have to do a studio clear out. I've got resins and micros and all sorts of things that need to find new homes because they are just sitting here. And if I have space, I can fill the space with new things, and new things are exciting. So there's that. Yeah, but also less plants. I'm a little self-conscious about the fact that it's got to turn into a greenhouse. I love it personally because plants, and they make me happy and whatever. But that's totally a thing. On that note, should I do my hyperfixation with the dahlias first, or should we talk about the peaks for the club medallion first? Because I don't want the people who don't want to experience the club thing to have to leave and miss the dahlia thing if they want to know about the dahlia thing. I also had something really cool. I've got, and it is a pen thing. When I got my pens, I got 2 TWSBI pens, and I've been experimenting with the chrysalis colored ink that I added glitter to. So it is sparkly orange yellow. Yeah, sparkly orange yellow. It's in my to-do list. Don't worry, it doesn't give anything away. Just printing. So how the ink goes from yellow to an orange, which is like my logo, and then it does have gold sparkle in it. That's on a TWSBI Eco with a broad nib, so it's got a thicker tip, which means it just writes thicker. And then I've got this guy, which has a stub nib to it, and it's a giant stub nib, which means that it writes like a calligraphy pen, and it is also covered in ink. I apologize for its messiness. It's in a studio, it just likes being messy. And it has a really cool, I will fold my to-do list to show you guys all the things. Dun, 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 dun. It just gives you kind of a calligraphy look, and that ink is Emerald of Chivor, which is extra cool because it has glitter and color change in it. It kind of goes from like a green to almost a red and then gold glitter. So it's just kind of fun because it makes my writing look like it's all calligraphy without trying. And I didn't like it at first because it was so big, and then now I just like, ooh, it looks so fancy. It's like medieval vibes. I don't even know. It just makes my brain crazy. So that's totally a thing. So small hyperfixation aside, I guess. I haven't had a food hyperfixation in a little bit though, but the flowers and the plants have been kind of a thing. I got like a 60-pound bag. Okay, let's just do the hyperfixation first, I guess. Julia's like, plants, plants, plants. Everybody wants plants. Yes, you are my people. Horses and plants and shiny ink, and yeah, it's cool. And if you don't want to see this, you can scrub through until I go like, leave. And then you can come back because that's when all the peaks are going to happen for the other stuff. Because I don't want to spoil that for people who still want it to be a surprise. So hard to manage my brain and my being. But anyways, I got 2 60-pound bags of dirt, and I've been repotting stuff. And I have plants that need to be trimmed. So I've been taking cuttings from those, rooting them, and actually selling them on Marketplace because I didn't want to throw out the poor little cuttings. And for a couple bucks, people get really excited to have a new plant, including, so slight side hyperfixation. I have a golden variegated pothos that has been pulling white bits, so like albino chunks, pop out in the leaves every once in a while. Most of them look variegated like that, but it's so pretty. And I had no idea. I used to be the person that was like, oh, flowers and plants and whatever, I don't care. Now I'm like, they're so pretty and rewarding, and I don't know what happened to my brain. Maybe it's, if you don't have kids, your brain just turns into mom brain and goes to plants and animals instead. Maybe that's what's happening. People are like, plants! I have plants everywhere. See? Plants and cheese and ponies. Amy's like, I'm the unintentional plant killer. I used to kill everything. I couldn't even keep house plants, and now there is hope for you if you want to try growing plants, because I learned not to kill them, and now I have a whole bunch of them, and it works out. So you can buy things like dahlias at the store when they're grown up. You can buy seeds and start them. They are a tuber-based flower, so they grow little fingery, they're almost like fat sausage finger tubers off of it. You can also get the tubers from gardening centers or the dollar store. And my funny story is I bought expensive ones, and I bought cheap ones, and I bought middle of the road ones, and I bought dollar store ones. And the only ones that have seemed to have come up and actually produced a plant so far are the dollar store tubers. So for $2, I have flowers, and for like $16, my tubers don't seem to want to grow yet. So hopefully those ones wake up soon, but they are super pretty. So this is one of the dollar store ones. And with the dollar store ones, you're not necessarily going to get what you see. From my experience in the groups on Facebook, people are like, you might get something close to it. You might get this, but you might not. So it's kind of all over the board. A tuber will produce, here's the other dollar store one, which is like a cafe au lait style. There's so many different variations. You can get ones that have these wavy kind of ends to it. You can get ones that are more like this, that are more of a ball shape, that have these really rounded flowers instead of the petals being kind of pointy and wavy. You can get crazy colors. this one's got a really cool variegation to the petals. This is called a Bristol stripe variation. And these will breed true. So you can actually take the tubers, split them up as long as they have a little eye. So it's like a little sausage with a little bump at the top. And the bump at the top is the eye. You can plant the little tuber with the bump sticking up, and the leaves and the shoots will all grow from that. And it will produce, so if you take a tuber from this guy and you know it produces this flower, you can cut the tuber off and it'll produce another one that's like this. But the seeds, it'll cross-pollinate and you will get crazy variations. So that's kind of where the fun is people have fun breeding and creating different varieties. And then they're different colors, they're different leaf styles. So this one's got a really curly kind of petal thing going on. You can get spiky ones. Look at that. Look how cool that is. So that's a Tahiti sunrise. And it's just super spiky. I did buy seeds, but I won't be able to start them this year. But it'll be interesting to see what I get because you won't know, which is kind of cool. And then I bought a miscellaneous set. So this has a couple of different versions in it. These ones are really pretty, but you usually get a lot of difference in the color of them. Some of them, half the flower will be one thing, half the flower will be another, or it's light to dark, or the outside of the petal's light and it goes dark to the inside. So many different cool things. So I'm excited to see what pops up in my garden. Some of them can be like 6 feet tall, which is huge. And a lot of people use them for cut flowers. And you can even potentially, if you talk to florists around you, sell them dahlia cuttings, like the flower themselves. People that are doing that put like little nets over the top to make sure bugs don't eat them, keep them all pretty, because lots of people like to do weddings and stuff with ones like this. And you can get dinner plate variations where they are huge. They're dinner plate sized. So those are the ones that get really, really tall and their heads get giant. So yeah. Oh no, somebody's saying I need succulents. I kill succulents, so I haven't had luck with them yet. I used to have an aloe vera plant that kind of hung in there, and I killed it. And then I tried a couple succulents and I killed them. And I found a little piece of a string of peas and I killed it. So I think I water too much. It's probably my problem. But I do have a Christmas cactus. It just doesn't bloom or really grow very much. It's hanging out upstairs. Ooh, African violets and their cousins. I know people that breed those and they get really excited. Julia says, I put some of my tropicals in my ball python enclosure and they've exploded with big, beautiful leaves. That's so cool. Oh, they get so excited when they get moist. Like if you mist plants, they just love it. It's like lizards. My lizard also likes it and gets all excited. Marty says, for me, it's horses, plants, and birds. See? This is cool. I didn't think that you guys would be excited about the plant thing. Tomi, hi, Tomi. I have one plant, and that has seemed to like me and stayed alive for 3 years, maybe 4 now. I'm happy it's still going, though. It's for my grandma's funeral, so it means a lot to me. Aw. Yeah. A lot of people get plants from family and cuttings, and like my grandma had spider plants that she used to give me pieces from and stuff like that. And I have amaryllises. She had a waxed amaryllis bulb that I don't even know how many times it had bloomed. It hadn't been planted in anything and it was barely hanging on there. I think it had gone through a couple of years. And when you wax an amaryllis bulb, it will still bloom because it'll be using its own resources, but there's no dirt or anything it's in. So I actually took it out of the wax coating and planted it in dirt, and it proceeded to put off 2 little amaryllis bulb babies, which I repotted. So now from my grandma's 1 amaryllis, I have 3 amaryllis plants that are just starting to come back. So hopefully they bloom, and that will be a really cool memory and reminder of her for me, which, yeah, they can do that. Everybody's like, cacti? No, I don't know. Amy, my mom brain is animals, tiny objects, and plastic ponies. There we go. See? You don't need kids. Plastic ponies and plants and pets. Whatever else. Tiny things. I don't know what it is about tiny things. They're so exciting. By us, they need to be lifted out of the soil to reliably come back. Oh, for dahlias. Yeah. So that's another thing. If you're in a place that gets cold, you can't leave the dahlia tubers underground. You have to dig them up. And then a lot of people you'll either let them die and buy new ones or take the seeds and try and plant them, or you can dig them up, put them in perlite or sand or some sort of medium to overwinter them inside in a cool area. But make sure that they don't get too dry and they don't get too wet. And I was going to try it with the ones that I had outside last year that were smaller varieties, and I didn't dig them up in time. But it's fine. I do have asparagus and a whole bunch of flowers and things coming up. And I have 5 peony plants that I planted last year that none of them had flowers because I was just planting the plants. And now they have plants coming back. They made it through the minus 40 bajillion winters. I think that's like minus 47 Fahrenheit was about where it got to here, which was crazy cold. Happened a couple of times. So I wasn't too hopeful that they would come back, but I've never squeaked so loud as seeing those pop up. And then my asparagus is like as thick as my finger, which is awesome. It's the 3rd year and I can eat almost as much as I want off the plant now. So I'm pretty excited. Laura Rocksmith said hubby used to grow dahlias. That's super cool. I think they're pretty. I didn't like flowers before, but now I really like them. My friend had a friend who had dahlias all around their yard, says Sally. Loved going around and looking at all the varieties. And they're just... Oh, and then Gail brought up a good point. So she said for dahlias, do some research on leaf gall and crown gall and join a few dahlia groups. So if you have a tuber that starts growing a whole bunch of eyes and they're all clustery, and it's not good. It's like a fungal disease, I believe, and it will spread. So don't plant those. Don't let them touch other things. They need to be humanely put to rest. So like anything, there's always complications and diseases and pests and stuff. So make sure you inform yourself if you decide to go excited and go buy dahlias. Most of them are okay, but just be careful because it's like a mutation that affects the cells and then it does all sorts of crazy stuff. Look up streptocarpus. Ooh, those are pretty, Jennifer. Or Sally? Yeah, sorry. Sally posted about that. Here, I will share my screen. We're going to do a flower thing. Cape Primrose, and I spelled it wrong, but it's okay. We're here. We got this. That's super pretty. Wow. I like the variegation on that. Ah, too many pretty flowers. You guys are going to be bad for me. I'm going to have to go buy more plants. Jennifer says, I kill succulents too. Follow the care instructions, but they still don't survive. Moist. Yes. Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. Plants, rocks, horses, tack, and model horses. Yes. I do want to get into making, so it is International Tack Making, Model Horse Tack Making Month. I don't even remember what the full name for it is, but there's a tack making thing like NaMoPaimo happening right now till the end of April. So a couple more days. I would check out that group. I will pull it up on Facebook so you guys can see it. It is well worth peeking at because there's amazing people doing, International Tack, Model Tack Month. Let me share my screen. There's 1.2 thousand members. It is a private group, but go join it. It's awesome. People making tack for the first time. And I don't know why my screen resolution sucks, but it'll figure itself out. Doing really cool things. A lot of times they're challenging themselves to do something wild and crazy, asking how to do different things, giving you tips on how certain things are assembled. You can ask questions just like NaMoPaimo. Tack is awesome. So if you haven't tried it, I highly suggest you do. And the bonus is for people that are doing or want to get into tack, a lot of the tack making supply places like Rio Rondo and Horsing Around, and I'm going to bugger it up. Hit up the group and you'll find out all the places that are giving discounts, but a whole bunch of places are doing discounts for supplies or giving away like little sample packs of stuff with purchases. So that's kind of cool. When I was doing it, I've done it a few times. I made the Western saddle set that you saw in the tater pictures is one that I made from the Rio Rondo kit. And so fun. Tack is so fun. So get your hands into it. Even if you're late and you want to try now, just try. Check out the group. It's really, really cool. Cindy. Hi, Cindy. I showed off your boy. He's doing good. He's happy. Here. He has a little bit of overspray, but he's a good boy. I think it worked out pretty cool. His little pink pits drive me nuts. I like it. I will definitely need the semi-rearing Mustang to go with him. Because then they can San Domingo together. It'll be fun. There's also a semi-rearing Mustang done of Turbo the Wonder Horse, and considering my horse's name is Turbo and he's also Chestnut, I might need Turbo the Wonder Horse eventually, one day. Sad face, snow pants on a semi. Aww. Mother-in-law killed them. No. Ugh. Yeah, it's hard to have plants if you're in a vehicle and doing that all the time. Let's see. Split leaf philodendron seems to be the only plant I can keep alive. Hubby used to overwinter dahlias. Wish I could share pics in the comments. You will be able to share pics in the comments once this is posted. So you can come back and share pictures, Julia. That'll be fun. I also have some petunias I started from seed that we'll see how that works, because they wanted $5 for like 10 seeds when I was trying to buy petunia seeds, but I just collected thousands, probably hundreds of thousands off of my plants, because it's really easy. You wait till their little pod things dry up and then you just shake the seeds out, because it'll open up and the little tiny baby seeds come out, and you can just dump them in dirt and keep them moist and you get plants. Because I didn't want to spend $5 million on annuals this year. Brenda says, I love peonies, but hate ants. Yes, so they need ants to pollinate them, and we have tons of ants, so it'll work out. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't make the ant problem worse. Everybody's like, oh my God, minus how many degrees? It does get cold. It is Canada. I can't help it. Elizabeth Hart says, I just collect obscene amounts of tack, and I don't need from my ponies. I'd love to learn how to make tack. You should. It's really, really fun. I highly suggest it. And it's a really welcoming group, much like NaMoPaimo. It's for sure, like, there's people doing braiding, there's people doing stuff for the first time, there's people that are learning to tool, or there's anything you want pretty much there. And you can ask questions. It's very cool. Sherry, hey, how's it going? Bought the Rio Rondo Western saddle set or kit a couple of years ago. Need to put together. Looks so fun. It is fun. Do it. Rio Rondo's kit is very, very nice. It is easy to put together. They've got lots of alternative patterns on their website. Lots of people doing different things with them. There's lots of support for it, and people know it works so good. Peonies sounds very much like ponies, so same thing. Peonies don't need ants. That's a myth. They're just often found together. Oh, cool. Well, I have lots of ants, so it's going to work out. They're underneath my lilacs, so I have lilacs, then peonies, and then I'm going to probably put dahlias kind of in between stuff, and I don't know where I'm going to put all my plants, but I'll figure it out. It'll be fun. All right. On that note, I think we're done the hyperfixation portion because my brain explodes. If you want crazy overload, join a dahlia group this time of year, because everybody's selling tubers and showing off the different pretty colors, and then they'll all start popping up soon, and we'll start seeing flowers. I guess there are some people that are having theirs bloom already in the hotter areas, but we're starting to get things pop up now. Julia says, I request a picture once it's done. I will take pictures of the art, and I will also tidy things up and try and give you guys a studio tour at some point. Maybe not necessarily live, maybe live. We'll see. But it's there's stuff everywhere. So, well, you guys can kind of tell that that's kind of a thing in the studio. So, if you do not want spoilers, this is my signal to leave now. Leave now. Don't see the thing. I need to put like a, hold on, I'll put a spoiler alert caption up. Da, 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 da. Oh, hold on. There we go. So, leave if you do not want spoiler thingies. And yes, I did slice my finger open yesterday doing medallions. I'll leave that up and then people know that it's a thing. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'm going to show you the sticker and I'm going to show you a chunk of the medallion, and I will start posting peeks as of today because the boxes are going to start shipping, and the reveal will be posted before boxes arrive this time, which is really exciting because that hasn't happened in the last few times because it's hard with timing. It'll be like one reveal a day until we get to one peek a day until we get to the full reveal. And it's going to be challenging, I think, this time. But I really, really like this piece. I think it is very seasonally appropriate. I think it is going to be loved by many people. And that is all I'm going to say for now until I post more. To find the peaks, it is going to be on chrysalisstudios.com/peaks. I will post the link when I have things going. For sizing, it is pretty large, about 3/4 of a raven's head, maybe more, because we're going by that scale now. And I will only show you part, and it has dirt on it, of course, because it's in the studio with all the plants. Dun, dun, dun. It is a thing. What is it? What is that thing? I don't know. Can you know? It's a thing. There's more of the thing underneath it, but I'm not going to show you the rest. I will post that peek to the page later today after the stream. And then if you don't want the sticker spoiled, then also leave now. But if you didn't want the medallion spoiled, you would have already left. And so you're all probably here anyway. I'm not. We're taking guesses. Looks like dirt or a rock. Scratching my head. Julie. Hi, Julie. Raven's head scale is the best. My guess is it has plants on it. Maybe. I'm not going to tell you. Could be sea. It's an eclipse. Foam crest. And then the sticker might be on holographic sticker stock. Maybe. Dun, da, da, da. So it is a more realistic horse, but also with the holographic on the outside. And I thought holographic and Leopardapalooza went really well together. So, and the camera's like, I think not. Maybe I can trick it. There we go. I really, really like how the realistic turned out with the holographic around the outside. It is pretty trick. It's like disco pony. So yeah, we have guesses of foam, eclipse, dirt, rock, clouds, water, maybe dirt, and then people liking the sticker. So for club members, you can order extra of these. I did get a couple of extra this time because that seems to be something that people are enjoying. I will post the peaks to the website, starting with the one I showed you today. That will go up today. Tomorrow there will be a new peak, and I will make sure to post on social media as soon as those are available publicly. We have guesses of a foal. We have a rolling pony in the dirt. We have people enjoying the sticker. I am not going to give anything more away because I will let you guess, and we will see who's right come next time. It's just a giant plant. It'll be like the Little Shop of Horrors. It'll be Audrey, and that'll be fantastic. But like Dahlia style. Be fun. So yeah, I guess I will let you guys do. If this one doesn't have plants, I definitely think the next one needs some. That's so funny. Or mud. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. You can keep guessing though, and I will leave you to that until I post the full reveal. I think you guys will all really enjoy this one though. And I think it'll be popular, and we'll see how she goes. I'm excited to see them painted up, and I think that there are lots of potentials with this one. On that note, before I give anything more away, I will let you guys go. I will see you next Sunday. I will post those peaks right away, and I will post to social media when they're up, and then all the preceding days. Feed me Seymour. I love that. So fun. All right, Seymour, but a horse. Yes, be fun. Seymour and Audrey, but horses. like the Disney ones that keep popping up. All right. Have an awesome rest of your day, everybody. Remember to not feed the trolls, and that your response to people that are being dinks says more about you than it does about them. So make sure that you conduct yourself in a way that is how you are, not how they are. And we will always come out on top. I will see you next Sunday. I will post peaks soon. Your boxes will fly out of the studio very shortly. And if you want to join the Medallion Club, it will open up on the 1st and go until the 16th. And then we're good. So see you next time. Love you guys. And then I think the next box is the Briarfest Pony box. It'll be fun.